All right, so I'm going to talk about speakers, right? So there is someone that asked me about Bluetooth speaker. He made a search and he saw Twitter, he saw woofer, so he was kind of confused. Which one is which? I'm going to talk about each part of the speakers, their function, right? And how these parts are called. Okay, so stay glued. I'm going to switch the camera so that you have a look at what made up a speaker, why you can hear sound that comes from the speaker. So let me switch to the back camera and let's have a look. All right, so here is it. For example, look at this speaker right here. This is S67 speaker, Bluetooth speaker, right? And this, the same speaker, it's opened. Look at this, Zilot S67. So as it is, as a whole, you look at this, as a whole, this is speaker. Now why it is Bluetooth, so you can call it Bluetooth speaker. So this is a speaker right here. You see, this thing right here, yeah, this right here, and switching to the front, so this 1, 2, these are called Twitter. All right. Why this middle one, this one right here, it is called the woofer. What is the difference between these two? You note that when you play sound, like this S67, the bars that is coming now, and you feel the bars, this is the one that is doing the job. Okay? You feel the bars, this is the one that will do the job. Let me see this movie. Let's continue. Any kind of bars. Is a movie playing. All right. Okay. So as it is, let me reduce this thing. So as it is, all right, I will disable this woofer.
Here's the scanner.
So this woofer, you are going to see, you can feel the vibration, right? So let me see. You see, it's written here. This is bars. Then,
All teams in position.
all right, I want to remove this. Good, remove. It has been removed. Do you know this difference in sound?
Nice working there, my man.
Look at, yeah. Instead the sound is high, it has the high pitch.
I just have to make a call.
All right, so that one is this. That one is that. So this one, too, they're the same. All right, these are the tweeters. So Twitter it produces high frequency pitch. Yeah, high frequency pitch. Okay, so that's how you can hear the voice clearly. So let me continue.
Cell phones are secure.
I'll disable one more.
You got a pay
So
phone
that is only
outside,
one
you got
talking.
5 minutes.
You see, if I disable everything, you're not going to hear anything. So let me return one. You see the sound? I remove. Let me plug this other one. You see? I remove. Now, let me plug in this right here, this woofer. You see the difference that is going to give. So that is for this high pitch sound, right? 1 and 2 gives high pitch sound. Now, let me go to this. For this, it gives a low frequency. Yeah, that is a low pitch sound. So it produces a low. That means it gives this bar. That's why you're going to express the bars. So the bars has low frequency. Why this Twitter, it gives high frequency. That is high pitch. Why this one is low pitch, low frequency. Okay. So I'm going to plug in this. You're going to see the sound.
Have we met before?
Do you see? Can you hear it? Let me increase the volume. You see? You see the volume? All right. So that is a low pitch. You see, it's muffled. See, that's the way it's vibrating. We reduce it. But see, the way it's muffling. So it gives a low pitch. That is low frequency. Now, I'm going to plug this one of the Twitter. Look at the difference. That it will come to life.
But then you were working as a cocktail waitress.
Do you see the difference?
I remember it correctly.
Good. Now let me add the other one. Double. That is the second Twitter. Now, perfect.
We got confirmation.
That's a
Good.
good bomb.
So this is the difference. So this Twitter, this 1 and 2 gives high pitch. In other words, high frequency sound. So it produces that. Why this? It gives a low pitch. That is the bars, low pitch. Now, that has been explained. Now let's go to how the sound is being produced. Yeah. So these are Twitters. Okay. Look at this. You see that there's this frame here. It has screw holes. Okay. So this is a frame That's number one, the frame. Number two, look at the coil. So this is a coil. This coil is called voice coil. All right, come to focus. So this coil here is called voice coil. The same thing here, voice coil. If you look at this speaker here, let's see here. You see the connection here. You see another one that enters. So this one that enters, this one that enters, this one right here. You see my finger? All right. So it's the one that goes to the coil. Okay. And this comes down to the motherboard, right? So there are electrical signals, right? So if I take a multimeter and measure it, it's going to read about, for the woofer, it's going to be about 6 point something volts, while for the tweeter, it's going to give, it has a higher voltage. That's about 7 point something volts. So the voltage are sent to this voice coil, right? Sent to this voice coil, okay? And this voice coil, look at the position. This is how it's positioned inside here. This hole, all right? This hole, okay? Like this, it enters this way. If you look at this, something is holding this, okay? If you look at here, this brown part. So this is called a suspension, right? So this is called a suspension with surround. So it keeps this in position, all right? This right here. So here's a voice coil that receives the electrical signal, and this is, there's a magnet, all right? Oops. All right. So here, there is a magnet. This is a magnet, okay? So this magnet, it is, all right, so it enters this way. Good. Look at it. So this is how it is. So here's a magnet. Remember, here's a coil, okay, that this suspension hold in place. Okay, this suspension hold in place. Here's a coil that sees suspension hold in place, and here comes a magnet that comes in. Right. Remember that there is electrical signal that enters this voice coil. So once it enters this, and with the help of this magnet, there's going to be, when electrical signal is sent, there's going to be this kind of vibration. Okay, a vibration, up and down vibration. And that vibration, when it happens, now there's this is a cone or diaphragm. Yeah, this is a cone or diaphragm. So this diaphragm, of course, is going to be, this coil is also attached to the diaphragm. Aside from this suspension 1 held it in place. Okay, suspension 1 hold it in place. This is the suspension. Then after the suspension, there's a diaphragm, a cone, right? So, everything is attached together, and with the electrical signal that is sent to this voice coil, it's going to be vibrating, going up and down. And the up and down movement, the vibration, produces the sound. That is why if anything happens to this diaphragm or it bursts, you'll be hearing a distorted sound. That is, the diaphragm has problem. Or you're playing something, it is not clear, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, that is, the diaphragm is damaged. So hence, the diaphragm needs to be replaced, or the O is either tweeter or woofer need to be replaced. The same thing also applicable to the woofer as well. So for the woofer, it's the same thing. The only thing that the coil will be bigger is, look at this coil, they are very, very tiny. Come to focus, they are very, very tiny. So these are strand, it's like, yeah, see, very tiny coils. Can you come into focus so that you see, yeah, you see those lines? So these are coils, wounded. All right. So in summary, we have, there's this tweeter. Tweeter produces high frequency, IP sound, right? And meanwhile, while bass produces low pitch, low frequency sound. And there are some sophisticated speaker. And remember, the name speaker is the whole unit. So this right here is not speaker. Yeah, the right name is either is tweeter or is woofer. And there's sophisticated speaker that they have more than, like for example, for this speaker, Bluetooth speaker, there are 3, 2 tweeters and 1 woofer. There are some that is more than this, okay, but it's either, it is, for one, this one is a woofer, there is subwoofer as well. So with the subwoofer gives a more, like the bar is richer than this. Why this gives some sound? You can hear the small sound, like small voice coming out. Aside from the beat, there's small sound coming from it. There is a subwoofer that is only bass you will hear. You will not hear sound at all. Yeah. So there is subwoofer, and there is also, this is Twitter, that it gives high frequency. There's also a mid-range. Yeah. There's also a mid-range, and mid-range gives a mid frequency. So it gives a mid frequency or mid pitch. Okay. So everything is born out of this. Is it that Twitter or woofer? So in woofer, you can have subwoofer to give a more bass, that is absence of voice. And also Twitter gives a high frequency, high pitch. Then you can have mid-range, that is the frequency will not be as high as Twitter, and it will not be as low as bass. So it's going to be in between, that is mid-range. All right, so that is all. So that is all about, how sound is generated and about speaker. Okay, so in all, the whole unit is what? Is speaker. And those things talking inside, the sound coming out, they are called sound drivers. And in it, you have voice coil, sound coil. There is magnets. Okay, there is magnets. There is suspension. The suspension inside, see the brown stuff here. Then there is diaphragm, and lastly the frame. And that is all. So that is about speaker in general. It doesn't matter which one you are using. It might not be Bluetooth speaker. It can be maybe home theater. This very big and massive speaker. Basically, it's the same. Yeah. So these are the things that you're going to find inside. So electrical signal is being sent, to the voice coil, and the voice coil and the magnet works together. It creates a vibration because of a coil and there's a magnet. So causing the vibration, and diaphragm is in place to do what? Now, before the diaphragm, there is suspension. There's a suspension that holds the coil in place, that centered the coil. Then, lastly, the diaphragm that moves up and down to produce what? Sound. Then the frame that houses everything together. So all these are called sound drivers. Without them, you can't hear sound. And the same principle also applies to earpiece. It's the same thing, just like it's going to be minute, but it's the same thing, same process. Same principle applies as well. But now talking about bass, if as the speaker was opened, just like this one, this is S78, as it is open, if I should play stuff, if I should play a song, you're not going to feel that bass. Why? Because it is opened. The woofer is not enough to give that bass. So here comes, this is very important. Okay. This right here, this is for S78. It is called passive vibrator. All right. So now, still on S67. So this is S67. So for this S67, there is this. This is it right here. Some might look at this and say, no, this is the bass. It is not. It is passive. It is a radiator. So it is passive radiator, but not active. Okay. At both ends. So it's similar to this. It's the same thing as this. No, this is S78. So it's big. All right. It is big. So this is the passive radiator for it. And it's common to all Bluetooth speaker. It's common to all Bluetooth speaker. So for a Bluetooth speaker that has a separate woofer, the woofer is not enough to give that bass. So passive radiator comes in order to, in order for you to have that feel of bass. So this is called passive radiator. So passive radiator work together with the woofer in order to create that bass. But there are some speaker, there are some Bluetooth speaker that does not have a separate woofer, just like S67. It does not. Take for example, let me use this. This is Anchor Sample Boost. All right. If you look at it, it only uses this. Okay, this 1 and 2. These two speakers right here. Yeah, this right here. So as for this, no, there's no a separate woofer, and it has. If you look at the middle, this one, okay, this one, and yeah, the middle one. Let's look at the middle one here. You can see the internal. Yeah, this is one. You see how it's going in. Yeah, this right here is a passive radiator. It has a double passive radiator. All right. So passive radiator. This is how it works. Yeah. You know, as this right here. As this, let me say for example, this is Twitter, right? Let's assume that, okay, let me use this as an example anyway, but I will still talk about this speaker that does not use a separate woofer. So for this speaker, you know, this Bluetooth speaker, so these are similar this thing used inside. Yeah, it has Twitter, it has woofer. All right. So here, as you know, if you're playing stuff, you're playing song, you know, inside here, you see, this thing is going up and down, right? This right here is going up and down, this coil, then vibrating with this diaphragm. So that up and down movement here, up and down movement is going to, there will be air created. Okay. So that air that is created inside is the one that will cause this passive radiator to be vibrating, thereby boosting up the bass, yeah, that was created inside. So basically, that is how it operates. Yeah, the air generated inside the speaker is the one that will cause the vibrator to vibrate, thereby mimicking, thereby boosting up the bass that is produced inside the speaker. Now, there are speaker just like this Sanko Boost, right? Just like this Sanko Boost, and the same is also applicable to this as well. There's not a separate bass for this, because these are big speakers. These are big voice sound driver. Yeah, they are sound driver. These are big sound drivers. So if 1, 2, they are for woofer, will this one be for the Twitter that will be giving the voice? No, no. So as it is, what this one is Twitter, right? Okay, that is going to give this high treble. Yeah, the treble feeling. But this right here, yeah, you see these two, the same thing also applicable to this because there's not a bass, and Sanko Boost gives this bass feeling. Okay, so this right here, all this sound driver, these two sound driver, the same thing also applicable to this one as well, and they are called full range. Yeah, full range speaker driver. That is the name. They are full range. Full range in the sense that, you know, there's no separate woofer. So this sound driver does the job of giving high frequency or high pitch sound. It also gives mid pitch sound. It also gives low pitch sound, that is for the bass, right? Then here comes this, it's very thick, this passive radiators, in order to boost the bass generated by these niggers right here. Yeah, exactly. So that's how it works. And the same is also applicable to computers, laptops. Although there are some PC that have this separate subwoofer. There are some PC like that, but there are a lot of PC does not have that. So the same is also applicable to such PC. And for that PC, there is a driver, and driver is software. And what the job of that one is to make sure that the software can communicate. That is, in this time around, let's say if it is Windows operating system. So the purpose of the driver, of the sound driver there, is to make sure that the software communicates with the hardware, the sound hardware on the PC. So that's the driver. Meanwhile, for Bluetooth speaker, the sound driver is this physical device. But as for PC, it is software. Yeah, it is software that will drive the sound, the sound units. No, technically, you can refer to the speaker. You can refer it to as a speaker driver, right? You can, for laptop, you can also refer it to as speaker driver. Yeah, good. So this is a PC right here. Okay, you see this thing right here? Yeah, they are called speaker driver. Okay, their speaker, the core speakers. And it's the same thing with this. This is a full range, and this as well, it is a full range. Especially with PC that does not have, for PC that does not have a subwoofer, separate subwoofer, so it is called full range. So if you want to play, if you are playing song and it's playing, so it's going to give both the mid-range, the high range, that is the high pitch, high frequency, and the low, that is for the bass. It's going to do everything together. The same is also applicable to earpiece, hands-free. Yeah, if you are using AirPod or so that are using, because there's no separate bass. So it's a full range. Yeah, it's called full range. So basically that is all. So in summary, the bass, the woofer is not enough in order to create that bass. Radiator comes, passive radiators comes in order to boost the little bass generated by the woofer or full range speaker driver. Yeah, that is all.